Hey guys, hope you're doing well. So, as you can see, we're driving out in a Tier 9 tank. This is my Tier 9 KPZ 50t. And one of the most important things in this map I find is to destroy these buildings. And I think this might have helped me a lot later on in this game. So, sometimes I go left, sometimes I go right. And today I decided I was going to go to the top of the hill and see what I could snipe out. You can see by the matchmaking that I have pretty favorable matchmaking. I'm only one of two Tier 9s on our entire team. Everyone else is Tier 8 and even some Tier 7s. So it doesn't get much better than this. So this is kind of where the Tier 9s have to try and have to shine and do well. So on our other flank, we had the Phase 1 and a whole assortment of other guys. The team distributed pretty evenly in this game. Pretty good. So I'm just scanning around and seeing if I can spot anything and shoot anything, and I can't see through any of these buildings, so that's not going to happen. I'm a little bit too overzealous here, and I get spotted by probably something in those bushes back there. I wasn't quite in the bushes, I don't think. So this tank is fast becoming maybe my favorite tank in the game. And I'll tell you why, is because it actually moves pretty well. It'll do about 60. You can see here when getting that rundown on the side of the hill there. I'm able to get up quite a lot of speed. The turret turns fairly well. It's got pretty good gun depression. Like, it shoots on the the move pretty well. And, like, it traverses fairly well. Like, there isn't a heck of a lot of things this tank doesn't do well. I mean, the hull armor is crap, and it takes a lot of damage, like module damage. In particular, it likes to get ammo racked quite a lot, and among other things, it's just a very fragile sort of vehicle. So the thing that I love best about it is that it's accurate, and it aims fairly quick, and the shell velocity is massively fast. So right now, I'm just kind of hanging back and being in like an Overwatch sort of guy here, and wanting to try and punish whoever wants to try and be aggressive. Because me being up there and trying to play on the ridge is just not really where this tank shines. It's much happier back here. So I see this Skoda come around, and I'm going to try and pop him in the side of his turret. That works out pretty well. And then we got the 5120 on their team decide he's going to crest and he's going to come in here and try and do some damage. So I'm going to try and slow him down as much as I can and use the DPM of this vehicle to really hurt this fella. So I've managed to track him, and then I thought I would be able to get him right there, and I just missed, unfortunately. And that was kind of it for the rest of our team over here. So I don't think I would have changed that result had I been a lot closer. It's not really what this tank is and what this tank does, in my opinion. I play this tank almost exactly the same way as the Leopard prototype. I just have a little bit more confidence in the turret, and both the same confidence in the gun. It just doesn't. This tank doesn't move quite as well, I don't think, as the Leopard PTA does. At least for me. Right now, the crew in this thing is actually my Leopard 1 crew, and then I have my Leo PTA crew that's actually running in my T55A. So I've kind of got them distributed. So I managed to spot this guy here, the Scorpion coming across the middle of the map into the town, and I managed to punish him. And then I spot another VK, and I want to see him poking his way through the side of the building here, and managed to nail him for 300 damage. And don't quite manage to reload in time. Seeing if I can see this guy drop off the back of the hill. That doesn't happen. And we're losing by quite a lot right now. 6 tanks down to 3. And I don't think that shot went in. So what I'm trying to do now is just stop these guys from pushing over the side of the hill on us. I'm going to try and change my angle a little bit and be able to use this bush to try and see what I can. And I end up spotting the Skoda coming in, which is good. Unfortunately, this shot managed to miss. Even though it was fully aimed, it went fully as far as it could to the left side. And I probably could have just held it there a little bit longer. Maybe the server latency needed to catch up a little bit. And I'm reloaded now, and this VK, I wasn't entirely sure if he was just going to come down and try and trade with me or not. So I'm going to pop that way, and I'm trying not to take too much damage from this guy because trading with a tier 7 is pretty dumb. So I'm going to pop up and take a little bit more damage from him, unfortunately. And the problem with this guy is he reloads pretty fast. And I don't know how that didn't go in with 270 pen. But unfortunate, getting owned by the tier 7. So I'm going to drop back around this guy and try and help out our Steyr WT. And he's going to be really, really important, as you'll see in a second. So I managed to take out the Scorpion. And then I see that... I don't remember if this guy had fired or whether he'd taken a hit. So I was just trying to be aggressive. I think he did fire there. So before he can really get aimed in, I managed to smack him for like about 1,000 damage, including the other shot on him. But now we're losing 12-7, and we don't have too many tanks left. So I've got to try and get up here to see what I can spot and see. And our WT manages to spot their 5120 over in the open here. So I load open a heat round just to really confirm him. And now I'm switching back. Actually, no, I don't switch back. I've got a heat round loaded for this guy. And they're still pretty quick, but they're just not as quick as regular rounds. So I'm dropping back, and get it really, really... I don't know, I had that fully aimed, but I was still moving a little bit. It was a good shot. Managed to take that guy out, which was pretty good. So, if I can get on top of the hill here and use our Steyr and our other guy, our artillery, as spotters, get a shot into the Hellcat, and we're just going to try and do as much damage as fast as we can, as these guys are kind of coming in about the worst way possible. They're like coming in one at a time. So he gets pegged, and then I got a shot here, and I'm able to track the T50, and then our WT finishes him off. He did a really awesome job, so I give him a thanks. And things are looking a little bit more rosy now. We were still down on kills and down on HP, but I'm going to pop over the top of the ridge here and see if I can get a shot into the T69, and as you can see, the shot goes wildly missing to the left. I had a couple shots just go berserk this game, and that was one of them. So now I want to make sure I can get rid of this AMBT, and I want him to fester on the battlefield here. So I'm going to take a shot from him and just confirm that I get him in the lower plate. And I do take a shot from some guy in the back there. So I'm just going to try and back off and try and jump into a bush if I can. And maybe hop into the... Trying to look around, and I know our Waffentrager is sitting there, so he's going to be able to pick up anyone who's probably going to get too aggressive on him. So I think that it might be a good idea to see if I can see if the Tiger is trying to sneak around. So I decide that I'm going to just kind of go off to the other side of the map here, because I probably have much better view range than either one of these tier 8 tanks. I don't have a great crew in this. I only have like a 3-skill crew in my Leopard. So just stopping here, seeing what I can spot, and it's not a heck of a lot. So I just pause and wait for a second to see if anyone wants to try and get aggressive, or anyone's trying to come at us through a different way through the town. And at this point I figured it would probably be a really good idea to get rid of the artillery. So I just decide, okay, I'm going to go for a little spin here and see if I can pick him up. And manage to spot him right there. I'm going to stop, aim in, and boom. Like the aim time on this thing is great, and the accuracy is really dependable. It's really just an awesome tank, and it just shines. I like the gun on the E50, but I just find it so much more sluggish to drive around and play with, and I would rather have the turret and the gun depression of this tank and the mobility than the... I find it almost like pseudo armor, because you can angle pretty hard in it, and you will bounce stuff sometimes, but this thing is definitely it fits my playstyle almost perfectly. Same with the Leopard. So our WT is looking like he's poking around the corner a little bit there, and I'm going to try and get as much into the middle as I can so I can be hitting them at a different angle. and trying to see what I can pick up between the Tiger and the T69. So, managed to pick up T69, aim in, aim in, aim in, hit him. T69 takes out our double Waffentrager, so that wasn't great. And he was pretty hobbled at this point. His commander was dead. Things weren't looking too good for him. He takes a wild shot at me, and I managed to bounce one from the Tiger because he hit me in the turret, I guess, which was lucky for me. And I'm loaded, and APCR is going to be no problem to go through this Tiger pretty much through anywhere. So I'm going to wait for him to come around the corner, and I pop him for my 8th kill, 5,500 damage. And this is going to be an awesome game. High caliber, Top Gun, Radley Walters medal, high caliber tank sniper, and it was my mastery game. It took quite a bit to get mastery in this, but it was a pretty fun game. I had a lot of fun playing this one. Just moving around the map, especially when there's a little bit less players in the game. But the matchmaking was great, but I still think it was a pretty okay performance. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys again in the next video. Cheers, bye.